What is U visa and who qualifies? Hi everyone, my name is Dulce from Adhami Law Group. Today we will talk about the U visa, who qualifies, what are the qualifying crimes, and what supplement documents you have to include with your case. As you know, we have launched a 15-minute pre-consultation program, and in that program, we have received many questions regarding the U visa program and regarding who qualifies, what are the qualifying crimes, and what are the supplement documents. Today, we have attorney Kusha Adhami, who will explain exactly everything, all the process and everything that needs to be done for the U visa program and answer any questions, or actually the most common questions that we have had in the pre-consultation program. Hi, Kusha.
Thank you, Dulce. Welcome back, everyone. Okay, so this is an exciting episode for us. In this video, we're going to answer all the questions that we received from our listeners regarding the U visa process. At the beginning of the video, we're going to just go over the basics, and then we're going to jump into all the questions that people have and our listeners have asked us. Guys, remember, here at Adhami Law Group, our goal is to simplify your legal journey for you and help you become a champion citizen. Okay? All right. So
our first question is, what is the U visa?
Okay, so Dulce, as you know, U visa is a relief, an immigration program for people that are physically present in the U.S. and they've been victim of a crime, okay? And once they were victim of a serious crime, they have cooperated with law enforcement, okay, to make our community safer, okay? So the whole public policy behind the U visa is that since these victims have been a victim of a serious crime and you cooperated with the police, they have made our communities become safer. And this further encourages victims to come out of shadows, especially people who don't have immigration status, to cooperate with the police and law enforcement and to make our communities safer. And in exchange, they are granted this immigration status. It's a very strong immigration relief because it allows them a lot of waivers. If, like, for example, like inadmissibility waivers, but I know I'm jumping ahead.
So how can someone apply for the U visa?
Okay, so I usually break it down to 5 criteria requirement. Number 1, they need to be victim of a serious crime. Number 2, they need to cooperate with the police. Number 3, they need to, as a result of the victimization or the criminal activity, they have to have suffered a substantial physical or mental harm. Number 4, they need to have the certification from a law enforcement, and that law enforcement can be a detective or a judge and all that. We can go more into that. And then the 5th requirement is that they need to show that they're not inadmissible. Inadmissible, it's a term of art, as we said in our previous videos. But U visa has a very strong waiver, okay?
And what are some qualifying crimes for the U visa?
Okay, so I'm not going to go through all the list of the qualifying crimes because those are listed at the USCIS website. But to just break it into a nutshell, it needs to be crime against a person. Mm-hmm. Okay, so if, for example, your car was robbed or somebody broke into your house and broke your windshield, that does not qualify you for this crime. There needs to be crime against person. And usually a common fact pattern or common qualifying crimes are usually domestic violence is very common, felonious assault because of the lot of robberies that have been going on, unfortunately sexual assault, kidnapping and all that. But what's really important, Joseph, is for our listeners to know that since there are different distinctions between state law and federal law, the qualifying crimes must match the crime that the victim was victimized of. That it needs to match the federal crime, or it needs to be something equivalent, as you know.
Yes. And can you explain what is substantial physical and mental harm?
Okay, so substantial physical or mental harm, if I can just really simplify this, it doesn't mean that you have to have your bones broken. Okay, it doesn't mean like you have to be like shot, or it doesn't mean that you have to have like a serious like a physical injury. So long as a result of victimization, you have suffered substantial physical or emotional harm, where your life has been impacted, you qualify for this crime. So, for example, if you were robbed but there's no physical injury, but there's a psychological report, that can be very helpful to you. Okay, so there is no, it's not really black and white. That's why you have to consult an immigration attorney so that they can go over all the details of the case with you.
And what does it mean? Earlier you said that one of the requirements is that they have to cooperate with law enforcement. What does that mean?
That's a very good question I get. So it doesn't mean you have to like necessarily testify in court or identify the suspect. Sometimes that suspect cannot be fined. So long as you have made effort, so long as you have made substantial effort to cooperate with the law enforcement, that's good enough. So that means like you made the police report, you answered questions from the officers or the detective, any sort of, and that's usually determined by the officer, but you have to make every effort to cooperate with the law enforcement so they can go after the suspect and make the community safer. That's the whole policy behind it.
And what are the documents that are mostly that need to be added to the U visa application?
Like you're talking about essential documentations.
Documents.
Okay, I think the most important documentation that's required for a U visa is the certification from the law enforcement officer. Without the certification, there's no U visa. You cannot apply. I think other important documentations are definitely a good detailed declaration from the applicant explaining exactly what happened. And there are like a bunch of other documents and forms that need to be filed. I'm not going to go over it because there's a lot of them, but I would say those are probably the most essential documentation, especially with the certification from a law enforcement officer.
And my understanding when it comes to U visa, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, some of basically the steps for the U visa is for somebody to apply for the U visa, send the application to immigration. Then after that, immigration has to determine whether they do qualified to be in the defer action and to get a work permit. And then they have the work permit for about, I would say, 4 or 5 years.
Yes. So once the application is filed, there's some receipts and biometrics is issued. Then it takes about, I would say, 6 to 12 months for USCIS to make a determination whether they have a bona fide determination of a U visa. And this is where they get the deferred action and the work authorization. Go ahead.
And then after that, they get their U visa approved. They are under the U visa program for 4 years.
Yes.
And then after that, immigration gives them authorization to apply for their green card.
Yes.
And they do have to be physically continuously in the country for 3 years.
Yes.
And in order for them to qualify.
Yes. So once they submit the U visa application, then there is determination by the USCIS regarding the work permit and the deferred action. Then they are placed in the U visa wait list. Usually, unfortunately, one of the problems of a U visa application case is that there are only 10,000 U visas are issued per year. So a lot of people go on the wait list. Once they're on the wait list, they get their U visa approved, and that status is approved for 4 years. And after 3 years, they're able to apply for their green card. So and through that 4 years that they've been physically present in the U.S., they need to show that they've been physically present in the U.S. and whether they have a deportation order or are they inadmissibilities that USCIS has deemed that they've been waived, they're going to be on the authorized stay and they're not removable once their U visa is approved.
And a lot of people have asked us that if they have a deportation order, can they still apply for the U visa?
Absolutely. I can say this. One of important part of a U visa application is that it grants the applicant a lot of waivers. So it waives illegal entry, it waives a removal order or deportation order, because automatically by presence of law, once you have your U visa granted, your deportation order is set aside. However, you do have to file a motion to reopen with the court in order to apply for their green card.
Last question. Can you explain briefly how does the waivers for the U visa
Okay,
Are they-
so U visa has a very strong waiver. It waives illegal entry, lots of other immigration violations that other programs don't waive. It can also waive like criminal activity. But if I could just break it down, it's probably one of the most strongest immigration relief for someone that has other immigration violations to apply for this.
Okay. Those are all our questions, Kusha. Thank you. Thank you, everyone who is watching. If you have more questions regarding the U visa or any immigration question, do not hesitate to call us at 213-204-6500. Also, if you want to submit any question regarding immigration or anything like that, we also do have a 15-minute consultation program. The link is below. You can click it, submit your questions, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. Thank you very much and see you next time.
Stay safe, everyone.